old isolated farmstead in Bavaria fell eerily silent in April 1922.
6 people died here, and the killer was watching them the whole time.
When locals finally entered the Hinterkaifeck property, they found the animals unfed, the doors locked.
March 1922, a lonely farmstead in the Bavarian woods of Germany. It was a place called Hinterkaifeck. The name itself sounds like a secret, and for over a century, it has guarded one of the most chilling mysteries in human history. Imagine finding a set of footprints in the fresh snow, leading from the deep forest straight to your back door, but no footprints leading away. Imagine hearing footsteps in your attic at night, only to find the hatch locked from the inside. The Gruber family knew someone was watching them. They knew someone was inside their house, but they didn't leave. And on a cold Friday night, the watcher finally came down from the shadows.
Neighbors grew uneasy when Andreas Gruber's family seemed to vanish.
Michael stumbled upon a foot sticking out of a pile of hay.
But the most terrifying part isn't how they died. It's what the killer did after the blood dried. This is the Hinterkaifeck massacre, the story of the house that kept a killer as a guest. Andreas Gruber was a hard man, not easily scared. But in the days leading up to the end, even he was rattled. He found a newspaper in his house that he hadn't bought. He found scratches on the lock of his tool shed. Even the previous maid had quit 6 months earlier, terrified, claiming the house was haunted by a presence she couldn't see. Her replacement arrived on Friday, March 31st. She would be dead in less than 6 hours. The viral nugget. One by one, the family members were lured into the barn. They weren't shot, they weren't stabbed, they were executed with a mattock, a heavy pickaxe-like farming tool. The killer was strong, precise, and patient. They waited for each person to come looking for the last, stacking the bodies in the straw like cordwood. The murders happened on Friday, but the bodies weren't found until Tuesday. For 4 days, the farm appeared to be running as usual. Neighbors saw smoke rising from the chimney, they saw the cattle being fed and the cows being milked. They even noticed that the family dog had been tied up and cared for. But when the neighbors finally walked into that barn, they realized the horrific truth. While the town of Kaifeck went about its business, a monster had been living in the Gruber house. He had cooked meals in their kitchen. He had slept in their beds. He had sat by the fire just feet away from the 6 people he had slaughtered. He didn't run because he wasn't afraid. He was home. When the police finally arrived, they were stunned. The killer had plenty of time to steal the family's money, and there was a lot of it, but he didn't touch a single mark. This wasn't a robbery. It was something much more personal. The suspects were a literal who's who of local grudges. Was it the neighbor who claimed to be the father of the youngest child? Was it a disgruntled former worker? Or was it, as some whispered, a soldier who had supposedly died in the Great War, returning to claim a life he felt was stolen from him? The police interviewed over 100 suspects. They even took the victims' heads to Munich to be examined by clairvoyants. Nothing worked. The trail was as cold as the Bavarian winter. In 2007, a modern police academy took another look at the case using 21st century profiling. They actually identified a lead suspect, but they refused to release the name out of respect for the suspect's living descendants. So the name stays buried, just like the house. In 1923, the farm was completely demolished. The villagers couldn't stand to look at it anymore. But even today, people avoid the spot where the barn once stood, because some secrets don't just go away when you tear down the walls. Hinterkaifeck is a reminder that the most dangerous place in the world isn't a dark alley or a strange city. It's your own home. It's the attic you haven't checked. It's the footsteps you tell yourself are just the house settling. Because 100 years ago, a family heard those same footsteps, and they were right. What would you do if you found footprints leading to your door, but none leading away? Would you stay, or would you run? Tell me your survival plan in the comments. This has been our deep dive into the dark. Make sure you're subscribed for our next journey into the unknown. And remember, check the attic. Thanks for watching.